Hawks fans, I don't know when it is appropriate to say that Onsi Saleh is obviously the best GM in the NBA, but he's the best GM in the NBA because the Hawks couldn't have planned this any better. All right. Right now, the New Orleans Pelicans are sitting at the worst record in the NBA currently, and that does nothing but say that the Atlanta Hawks have a 14 to 15% chance of landing the number one draft pick in what looks like to be obviously one of the best draft years in recent history. So I'm going to dive into all of the pertinent details. Going to let you guys know basically how we got here, what the deal is, and who could the Hawks possibly be eyeing going into next year's draft. Because right now, this is major. This is something big. And I'm telling you right now, this is only going to add firepower to an already loaded young roster. But before we go any further, let me go ahead and christen the show and welcome everybody in. What's going on, everybody? My name is Walter Pollard, and this is Atlanta Hawks Digest. I am happy to be here. I'm hoping you're happy to be here as well. Of course, right now, if you guys, if you've been following the Atlanta Hawks so far, of course, the Atlanta Hawks are doing well this season. Unfortunately, Trae Young has not been in the lineup as of recently. He's going to be checked out again, I want to say, on December 14th. So hopefully Trae Young will get some good news and he can return to the roster and hopefully help this Atlanta Hawks team get to get into an even better height. Okay, of course, the Hawks have been doing well in his absence. That does not mean that the Atlanta Hawks are better off without him. But I do believe that means the Atlanta Hawks are primed and ready to move forward, okay? If you paid attention to last season, when Trae Young wasn't there, the team was bad. When Trae Young was there, the team was bad, okay? So I want to point out something, that the Atlanta Hawks are going to be fine and things are only going to get better from here. But let's go ahead and just go into the topic of today, or go into what I wanted to talk to you guys about, which is how the Atlanta Hawks have a possibility of landing not only a top 5 pick, but the number 1 pick in next year's NBA draft, because this is going to be major. All right, let me go ahead and just jump right into it. Thank you to the 2,877 people that have subscribed to the show. We appreciate you. To the new subscribers, welcome. Myself and Chris Moore, we're definitely just poised to give you guys the best content as possible, best Hawks content as possible. And also, man, to the 58% of you that have not hit that subscribe button, we see that you are watching. We see that you're watching. We know that you're viewing our content. So definitely hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Send this to somebody else. Send this to anybody, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, as the season goes along, myself and Chris Moore, we're going to be on it. We're going to be on it. We're going to definitely give you guys the best Hawks content that we possibly can. All right, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. This man right here has got to be studied, okay? Because he was thrusted into what seemed to be a very tough position, be that when the Hawks got rid of Landry Fields, they brought in Onsi Saleh as the stand-in general manager. And I think he basically said, you know what, I'm going to set up shop here. I'm going to be the general manager for the Atlanta Hawks. I'm going to be the guy that's going to get this team the proper players that it needs. I'm going to get these guys in the best position that they need to be in. And dadgummit, he has done it. All right. He's brought in Kristaps Porzingis from the Celtics. He's brought in Nickeil Alexander-Walker from the Timberwolves. He's brought in Asa Newell, who we're going to talk about in just a few seconds. He's brought in a lot of different players. Luke Kennard, he's made a lot of different changes. Definitely has come into the organization, and he's made the proper changes in hopes that the Atlanta Hawks can get out of the play-in tournament, or what is known to most people as the Hawks Invitational. So this man has done his just due. He has definitely done a very good job this offseason. And so far, as you can see, this season, the Atlanta Hawks are off to a really good start. They're doing a really good job. I want to say fifth in the standings in the NBA, in the Eastern Conference. So, of course, Onsi Saleh has definitely, we got to give him his flowers, give him his round of applause because he definitely deserved it. But the reason why I'm also just giving this man his props because right now the New Orleans Pelicans are the lowest ranked team, or they have the worst record in the NBA, and that only does nothing but make things great for the Atlanta Hawks. Now, the decision by the New Orleans Pelicans to trade to the Atlanta Hawks their unprotected 2026 first round draft pick just moved up a few more spots in this year's NBA draft, or in the 2026 NBA draft. And of course, it continues to be one of the most peculiar moves in recent memory. Okay, we looked at how this whole thing came out, mapped out. Okay, again, I mentioned that he brought in Asa Newell, but the fact that he brought in Asa Newell at the way that he did was, mind-boggling. Okay, Asa Newell was supposed to come into the Hawks 10 positions earlier than what he came in at. Okay, so let's go ahead and rewind back to the 2025 draft, which is looked at as the draft day heist by the Atlanta Hawks. Okay, back on June 25th of this year, the Hawks traded the number 13 overall pick to the 2025 to the New Orleans Pelicans. Okay, now in return, the Atlanta Hawks got the number 23 pick. Okay, and an unprotected 2026 first round draft pick, specifically the more favorable between the New Orleans Pelicans and the Milwaukee Bucks in the 2026 first round. Now, go back to the picks, the 13th and the 23rd pick. Asa Newell was supposed to go to the Atlanta Hawks at the 13th pick, but instead, this man said, you know what, I'm going to trade away the 13th pick, move back 10 spots, and still pick up the guy that we intended on getting, which was Asa Newell. Give this man a round of applause. Okay, now that we've done that again, I do appreciate that because I'm telling you, he is on his job. Let's go ahead and pull up this yes, that young man. He brought in Asa Newell, of course, at the 23rd spot in the 2025 draft. And then, of course, in return, got a 2026 unprotected first round, which means that the Atlanta Hawks are really in prime position to get a number one draft pick. Now, the New Orleans Pelicans, they hold the worst record in the NBA. And it's guaranteed that the worst team in the NBA gets a top 5 pick in the next year's draft. So you ask, what's coming up, right? Who can we look forward to getting in the next year's draft? Okay, because when you look at it, some people are saying that this is potentially looking to be a historic class. I'm talking 1984 draft class, 1996, 2003. They're saying that this is going to be a historically good loaded draft class. Okay, you got Darren Peterson out of Kansas, a guard out of Kansas. You got Cam Boozer, yes, one of the Boozer twins out of Duke, power forward. Caleb Wilson from North Carolina, another power forward. Mike Brown from Louisville, a guard. Nate Ament from Tennessee, and AJ Debansa. I'm trying to get the names right. Y'all got to forgive me. Please don't laugh at me. But there's 6 potential guys, and out of this six, the Atlanta Hawks are guaranteed to get at least one of these guys because at the worst, the Hawks can get the number 5 pick. Let's say the New Orleans Pelicans don't even sniff the number 1 pick. That's fine because their number 5 pick is going to go to the Atlanta Hawks. And this is awesome. Give the Hawks another round of applause. All right. So, yes, the odds at the NBA draft lottery are pretty dispersed among the teams. Of course, this basically says that, it's evenly dispersed against amongst the teams that missed the playoffs. So even if the Pelicans finish at the worst record in the NBA, the Hawks would only have a 14% chance of landing the number 1 overall pick. However, this would guarantee a top 5 pick. And I'm telling you, out of 6 guys, the Hawks have a chance to land at least one of these franchise players, these franchise-altering players. And that is definitely awesome. I mean, listen, the Hawks already was able to get this young man, you dig what I'm saying, land the number 1 draft pick in the 2024 draft, and he's been showing out, and he's definitely shown himself to be a very good player. He's already on the starting lineup. He's definitely shown himself with Zaccharie Risacher. So that's already one part of things. And then on top of that, to turn around and have the draft day heist in 2025, taking Asa Newell, you know what I'm saying, at the 23rd pick. Again, these Atlanta Hawks are doing their job, and we can only thank this man. We can only thank this man for what he has done. And I'm telling you right now, I am geeked. The Hawks, I'm telling you right now, man, they could not have planned it any better. And I cannot wait to see. Just putting it out there. I cannot wait to see what is going to happen. But again, I'd be wrong if I didn't ask this question. What does that mean for Trae Young? And I know a lot of, and I'm just jumping ahead of all of you that are probably going to already put it in the comments, but what does that mean for Trae Young? You dig what I'm saying? What does that mean in between the Atlanta Hawks organization and Trae Young? Because what that tells me is, you know, the Atlanta Hawks, they hold all the cards. They hold all of the cards. The Atlanta Hawks, they hold their destiny in their hand. And what they decide to do with this information, what they decide to do with what I just talked to you guys is definitely up to them. But I am excited. You can hear it in my voice, and I cannot wait to see it. My name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest, and I'm signing out. Peace.